What I'm trying to show you here is a quick, easy way to make a parachute. I hope it'll be quick and easy. It's quick and easy in my mind. We'll see. So first you need to get some plastic. This was painter's plastic. You can just find a trash bag, cut it open until it's flat, and envision a circle on it. If the circle can't be any bigger than the space on it already is. Once you kind of picture the circle, decide where the center would be. I think the center of my circle is going to be right there. I'm just going to pinch right here, if I can. Do this, and then kind of look at where these edges are gathered. It's going to be the edge of my circle right there. Take my scissors. Kind of helps if you roll this up. Cut this off. So now I've got a nice circle. All I have to do is spread it out. People spend hours on parachutes, measuring and getting compasses, and it doesn't look quite circular enough. I don't know what happened over there. I'll do that again. Grab the center again. I think I just didn't cut close enough to the center, so this is becoming a real time-consuming process now. Okay, and if you want a bigger circle, start with a bigger piece of plastic. This is how big this one is. Can't be any bigger. Now I'm going to put lines on here. Again, they're very time-consuming ways to do this. You can take all the time you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. So what I'm going to do is make 8 marks. You don't have to do 8 shroud lines. I'm just going to. So I'm going to put 1 mark there, 1 mark opposite. Then 1 mark here, kind of halfway between those. 1 mark opposite. Then 1 here, 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 here. So I guess I've got 1 at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 1:30, 4:30, 5:30, and what would that be, 10:30. All right, 8 lines. I'm going to use this kind of string. I'm just going to stretch it out. I don't know exactly how long it needs to be, but I'm going to make it longer than the diameter of this circle. Maybe even longer than that. You can always make them shorter, so might as well start out long. I'm just doubling this over again and again. My little roll of string is kind of troublesome. It'd be nice if somebody would hold it for me. That's 4 lengths, 5 lengths, 6. Am I getting a tangle in there? I need to make sure I straighten that out. There we go. 7, 8. All right. So it's kind of a mess, but it's going to be good enough. All these little places at this end where I've got doubled over pieces, I'm just going to cut those now. At the other end, got the same situation. These will be, oh, you know what? I'm going to be smart now. I'm not even going to cut this end. I'm just going to tie these all together. Because I'm going to want to do that in the end. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of grabbing it, tying a knot in the whole thing. And in retrospect, I probably should have made these strings a little longer, but I'm in a hurry. You don't have to hurry quite this much. So now, I guess I could lay this out neatly. It's like combing my daughter's hair here. I'm not going to lay it out neatly. I'm just going to see how this goes. I'm going to start putting dabs of hot glue on here. Dab of hot glue there. And by the way, you're not supposed to be using these other tables for hot gluing, but if you're really careful and you keep the hot glue gun on a piece of cardboard, it's okay. Now, you can probably just set it in there. You can also pinch it. I don't know if you can see that in the video. One drawback to me tying all these together in the first place is that I can't lay them out neatly. Sometimes it helps to lay these going outward instead of inward. But hey, why don't I just put the string down first and then put the hot glue on that? Then I probably won't even need to pinch. Another one, I'm just putting these all at these marks. I've got 8 marks. 360 divided by 8. I got to sleep at 2. I can't really do the math. 320 divided by 8 would be 40. 40 divided by 8 is 5, so these must be 45 degree, 45 degree angles, half of 90. You don't have to talk to yourself when you do this. Okay, keep going. Feel free to skip to the end of the video. This is just more of the same until I get these shroud lines attached, and then I'll show you what the finished thing looks like. If you don't trust the strength of this, you can always reinforce these attachments with duct tape, but I've found they work fine. Just need to be really careful that your plastic doesn't double over on itself before the hot glue has hardened. And while I'm talking about hot glue hardening, hot glue doesn't really dry, it just hardens. It turns into pretty much a liquid when you heat it up, and then it turns back into a solid when it cools down. And it's not drying out like a lot of glues do. White glue, the water evaporates, hard stuff's left behind. With epoxy, you mix two chemicals, there's a chemical reaction and you get hardening. But this kind of stuff, you just have to let it cool. So you can put this, if you have cold air or you hold this stuff under a blower, it will harden faster. And I guess if you tell me I'm waiting for my glue to dry, I'll understand what you mean, but the teacher in me will want to correct you. Now, I could lift this up right now and I'd have a nice parachute. I'm a little worried about these things over here that haven't really dried yet. I think to speed up the process, I'll just pinch them together so that if I pick up my parachute, they won't stick to one another. That side's good. This one's good. All right. So there we go. Got a parachute. That's really the easy part. The hard part is figuring out how to put your parachute in your rocket in such a way that your parachute is going to come out. This is how I fold my parachute. I'm not saying you have to do that. I stretch it out like this. I'm going to do what I did when I was originally cutting the thing. Try not to get these lines too tangled. If they're tangled, and they will get retangled, just straighten them out. And then I do an accordion kind of a fold. I fold this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. And when I get to the string, sometimes I'll keep going with the accordion business, and sometimes I just wrap it at this point. You want it to come out easily, but you also want it to stay together tightly so it doesn't get snagged on your rocket until you want it to come out. So now when I let go of this, it'll unroll, and then after the unrolling part, this part doesn't have to unroll. It just de-accordionates, or whatever you would call that. And then this is coming down fast out of the sky, it'll open up. It's hard to do it in front of a close camera. That's it.